Have you ever wondered why the exact same lifestyle can produce completely different results for different people? Why one person's healthy diet makes another person sick? Why some people seem naturally energetic while others struggle with fatigue their entire lives? For thousands of years, doctors have searched for the answer. Today, scientists talk about genetics, metabolism, the gut microbiome, and personalized medicine. But more than 5,000 years ago, long before DNA was discovered, ancient physicians in India proposed a surprisingly similar idea. They believed every human is born with a unique biological nature, one that influences how they think, how they digest food, how they sleep, how they handle stress, and even which diseases they're more likely to develop. They called this invisible blueprint Dosha. For some, it's ancient wisdom. For others, it's pseudoscience. But what if the truth lies somewhere in between? And what if understanding your dosha could change the way you think about your own body forever? This is the story of one of the oldest systems of medicine and the mysterious idea that's still influencing millions of lives today. Chapter 1. The knowledge that survived 5,000 years. Imagine living in a world with no hospitals, no blood tests, no x-rays, no antibiotics, no medical textbooks. Now imagine trying to understand the human body. This was the challenge faced by the ancient scholars of India thousands of years ago. Instead of laboratories, they relied on something far more powerful: observation. Generation after generation, they carefully watched how people lived. Why did one person stay healthy despite eating very little? Why did another fall sick even while following the same lifestyle? Why were some people naturally calm while others were restless from birth? Why did certain people age gracefully while others seemed to wear out much faster? Slowly, patterns began to emerge. Those observations evolved into a sophisticated system known as Ayurveda, a Sanskrit word meaning the science of life. But Ayurveda wasn't created simply to cure disease. Its ultimate goal was much more ambitious: to understand why disease appears in the first place and how to prevent it before it ever begins. At the heart of this system was a revolutionary idea: every person is unique, not just in appearance, but in the very way their body functions. According to Ayurveda, this uniqueness is shaped by three fundamental forces that govern every living person. These forces are called the Doshas. They are called Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. You possess all three, but the unique balance between them creates a biological signature unlike anyone else's. Think of it like a recipe. The same three ingredients exist in every kitchen, but changing their proportions creates an entirely different dish. According to Ayurveda, the same principle applies to human beings, and understanding that recipe is where the journey truly begins. Chapter 2. The first dosha, Vata. Imagine the wind, always moving, never still. That is Vata. It represents movement, breathing, blood circulation, nerve impulses, speech, creativity. People dominated by Vata often think quickly, learn fast, love adventure, generate endless ideas. They're imaginative, energetic, curious. But there's another side. When Vata becomes excessive, anxiety appears, insomnia, restlessness, digestive irregularities, cold hands, dry skin, difficulty focusing. Think of Vata like the wind. Gentle winds refresh. Storms create chaos. Ayurveda says the same force that gives creativity can also create instability. Chapter 3. The fire of Pitta. Now imagine fire. Hot, powerful, transformative. This is Pitta, the energy of metabolism, digestion, body temperature, intelligence, ambition, leadership. Pitta patients often become CEOs, surgeons, entrepreneurs, athletes, people who love solving difficult problems. They're focused, driven, competitive. But every fire has limits. Too much fire becomes destruction. Acid reflux, inflammation, anger, perfectionism, burnout. According to Ayurveda, Pitta patients don't usually stop because they're tired. They stop because they've burned themselves out. Chapter 4. The Strength of Kapha. Now imagine Earth after rain. Stable, heavy, calm, nourishing. That's Kapha. It provides structure, muscle, bones, fat, lubrication, immunity, patience. Kapha individuals are often dependable, loyal, compassionate, excellent listeners. They remain calm when everyone else is panicking. They're the people you call during a crisis. But too much stability can become stagnation, weight gain, sluggishness, depression, attachment, difficulty letting go. Ayurveda teaches one of Ayurveda's most beautiful lessons. Even our greatest strengths can become weaknesses when balance is lost. Chapter 5. You aren't just one dosha. Here's where many people misunderstand Ayurveda. Very few are purely Vata, or purely Pitta, or purely Kapha. Most are combinations. Perhaps Vata-Pitta, creative but ambitious. Maybe Pitta-Kapha, driven yet calm. Or Kapha-Vata, gentle yet imaginative. Ayurveda calls your natural balance your constitution. It says this pattern is established from birth. Throughout life, stress, diet, weather, sleep, aging, and emotions can temporarily shift this balance. That's why you may not feel like yourself. According to Ayurveda, health isn't becoming someone else. It's returning to who you naturally are. Chapter 6. The Science Question. Now comes the controversial part. Does science actually support doshas? The honest answer is complicated. There is currently no scientific consensus confirming that doshas are measurable biological entities. You can't take a blood test or an MRI and detect Vata. However, researchers studying Ayurveda have found intriguing possibilities. Some studies suggest people classified into different dosha groups show differences in metabolism, gene expression, gut microbiomes, immune activity, and even stress responses. The field is sometimes called Ayurgenomics. Scientists are investigating whether ancient constitutional types may correlate with biological patterns, but the evidence remains preliminary. Most studies are small, methods vary, and larger high-quality clinical trials are still needed. In other words, science hasn't proven doshas, but it hasn't completely dismissed the idea either. Interestingly, modern medicine itself is moving towards personalized healthcare, precision medicine, genomic medicine, lifestyle medicine. Instead of asking, what's the best treatment, researchers increasingly ask, what's the best treatment for this particular person? That question sounds surprisingly familiar. Chapter 7. Why doshas still matter today. Whether doshas are literal biological forces or simply an ancient framework for understanding human differences, their biggest lesson may still be valuable. Stop comparing yourself to everyone else. The perfect diet may not be perfect for you. The ideal exercise may exhaust someone else. The morning routine that transforms one person may harm another. Ayurveda reminds us that health is deeply personal. Instead of forcing every body into the same formula, it encourages observation. How do you sleep? How do you digest? How do you respond to stress? What gives you energy? What drains it? These questions are becoming increasingly important even in modern healthcare. Thousands of years ago, without microscopes, without DNA sequencing, without artificial intelligence, Ayurvedic physicians observed something remarkable. Humans are different, profoundly different. And maybe good health isn't about becoming like everyone else. Maybe it's about understanding ourselves. Perhaps that's why the idea of doshas has survived for over 5,000 years. Not because every ancient claim has been scientifically proven, but because it reminds us that one size fits all rarely fits anyone. So, What's your dosha? Maybe the more important question is, what is your body trying to tell you that you've never learned to hear? If you enjoyed this journey into one of humanity's oldest medical traditions, subscribe for more documentaries exploring science, history, psychology, and the forgotten knowledge that still shapes our world today. Because sometimes the oldest ideas lead to the newest discoveries. Thanks for watching.